Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Josh Poet with you here, First Contact Radio. So we've got a lot of information on the show. Jason Curran's going to be here in the second part of the show. In just 30 minutes from now, we're going to be talking about Planet X. Planet X. Give you some information about what's going on out there. In the meantime, let's jump to the dream spell for today, our 13 moon calendar date. Today is called the Yellow Galactic Seed. Yellow Galactic Seed. And the guide for today is the star. Yellow Galactic Seed guided by the star. Yellow is the color of ripening. The galactic tone is called the galactic tone of integrity. The seed is all about flowering. And the star, the guide for today, is all about elegance. Altogether, the phrase for today is I harmonize in order to target modeling awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of elegance. On the Gregorian calendar, it is Monday, June 6, 2011. I hope you all had a great weekend, and I hope you were able to get some peace of mind back in your life, maybe get some things back together. Some of you out there may be reeling from all of the disasters that are going on. I hope things are becoming a little bit smoother for you. I know things are challenging out there and going to continue to be so. So I just pray and wish the best for everyone out there that's having to deal with all these situations we're going through, which is everyone on planet Earth. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on over to the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw, keep you up to date with what's going on, and I believe Dirk's got a story for us here. This has to do with the shooting in Arizona and the Gifford shooting. There were some strange things about it ever since it happened. I didn't quite buy into it right from the beginning, feeling that there was something more to the story than what we heard, and this is just a tip of the iceberg that he's going to talk about right now. But this is what I was talking about. And Dirk, over to you.
Next up on the Cosmic News Network, the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw.
Hey there everybody, it is I, Dr. Stephen Hawkman Hawking, for my old pals freenla.com. You know that I usually give a couple big lectures in LA a year, and did you also know that those lectures are free to go to, and pretty much the only place you are going to hear about it is here, at freenla.com, and there's over 3,000 other things free to do in Los Angeles. It is the first place I check out when I'm in LA.
Flying high above the planet Earth, this is the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw. Hey there, boys and girls. It is time for the Cosmic News with Dirk Bradshaw. I am Dirk Bradshaw, and tonight we reopen the Arizona Gifford shooting incident. After thousands of hours of ongoing research and sharing our findings with professionals that have been following the same leads, we have found that our evidence coincides with each other and tells an entirely different story than the mainstream and the AP feed to the American people. Now, the purpose of this story is not to accuse, but to inform the public of some of our findings and inconsistencies in witness testimonies, some of the friends of Jared Lee Lautner, some of the victim stories, along with a potential relationship link to DHS and several media groups located in Arizona. We would like to stress that the alleged evidence and findings we are about to show are not intended to accuse those individuals of criminal activity. is only to show alleged relationships with some of the victims, friends and witnesses, law enforcement, and others that may be involved in the event that took place. We apologize for any pain to family members or people not directly involved in what appears to be the result of a false flag. It is not our intent to hurt feelings, cause pain, or accuse individuals. We are only trying to uncover the truth and give the information to the citizens. We would love nothing more than to debunk our own theory in this case.
The X plan was a not for public release plan that was or is used in the event there is some type of what I want to say, disaster preparedness or any kind of simulated event that they want to do. And you found, Ed, the X plan. Have you seen that this sort of follows along with all of the plans that are done, or all of the disaster preparedness, whatever they use for an excuse to do a plan?
Not only does it blueprint all these events that we see, but it actually outlines the individual that they want to use as the suspect and gives you a profile of that individual and suggests that that person is this, believes in this, and has these type of political point of views and has a family that's of this people. And it's exactly what we see with Loeffner and everybody else that they try to put in that position. So it blueprints everything that we see.
All right, we'll be back after this 4-minute break, and we're going to take your phone calls. If you agree or disagree with the website, we'd like to hear what you have to say. This is all open for discussion, but it's mainly open for investigation. Back in 4 minutes with the Power Hour. This is Joy Schreiber. Welcome back to the Power Hour. Thank you for joining us today. Joining us, Stephanie Sledge and Ed Sherini. And I have to tell you, these people have been after this subject more than anyone I have seen, and I appreciate them so very much. We are all asking the questions. It is now 24 minutes after the hour, and we are simply asking questions. If we offend anyone, we want to know. If there is some reason that you feel that we are being inappropriate, we want to know. We simply want the answers. That's what I'm all about on this show. I don't have my opinions that matter any more than anyone else's. It's the facts that count, and that's what these two people are after, is the facts. And I have to tell you, when you go to wellaware1.com, wellaware1.com, thegovernmentrag.com, which is Stephanie's website, when I saw the Giffords lie there with the alleged mother of the child that was killed, that changed my life as far as this investigation goes. That is sort of all the evidence I need, excuse me, all the evidence I needed to know that there was something else going on here. So I don't know what is the most impressive item on wellaware1.com or the government rag to you, but I'd like to know, and I'd like to know what you think is not impressive to you. Perhaps some of these were not right on. I don't know. And when I say we, I mean collectively, because I certainly don't get any credit for any of this research. I didn't do any of it. Let me go back to you, Ed. What one piece do you think is the most powerful that says to you this event did not happen like they said it happened?
I like to look at the physical evidence, the photographs and things like that. That's what I'm about. And by looking at the doctors like Dr. Rail and Dr. Lamole, the physical evidence that we can match them to another person that's on Facebook that goes by a different name that's not a doctor. Now, we don't know if that person is real or not. Maybe it's just another level of the fraud. But nevertheless, these people that are coming onto our TV and saying that they're doctors and representing Giffords and giving us her health update are not who they say. So that link right there shows to me that there's definitely something more than they're telling us.
Okay, and Stephanie, I'd ask the same question to you. Which is the one piece of evidence that you all have uncovered that is one of the most powerful to you?
I would have to agree. Dr. Stephen Rail was who I studied for quite a while in this case and picked apart his stories across all the medias and press articles, and then discovering a different name and location and place that he works. And so I think that Dr. Stephen Rail was the one person in this case that I focused on the most that led me to others.
Okay. Now, I want to talk about some of the latest items of interest that you have discovered in your research, not giving away all your cards because it's important to keep some of the cards close to the vest. But, Ed, in your research that you've been doing recently, what have you come up with that is concerning you regarding the alleged manner in which the shooting was conducted?
Well, the thing that really concerns me is the fact that this case is different than, say, you're studying like the Kennedy assassination or past events. We found that the case that of the shooting is only the first half of the situation. We've caught them midway through a process, and that is being funded to this day, but we don't know what their end goal is. So we sit in a pretty unique situation where we can stop whatever they're trying to do, either it be something sinister or, say, legislation that they're trying to pass. But we obviously can see that there's definitely an end to this that they're planning on, but we don't know what it is. So we have an opportunity to stop that. So that's what I think is the most unique.
Okay. You know, at the same time that you're doing all this research, I'm finding it real interesting that the biggest news stories, of course, right now, the royal wedding, getting everybody to be all excited about a wedding in which two people have lived together for a while, and we're supposed to be excited over this royal wedding. Number two, the UFO event that's now being talked about, releasing documents from the FBI. And then the third thing is this shuttle launch. They're making a lot of hay over the upcoming shuttle launch. More normally, I mean, so it's the last one. Big deal. We've had a lot of them. But that seems to be a little bit strange. But that also contains and is going to have Gabriel Gifford's husband in that shuttle launch, correct?
Correct.
So are we expecting anything from watching this shuttle launch that might be different?
Well, here's what I'm a little concerned with is the evidence that has come out. They released, they say, leaked photographs of the rocket booster that had a crack in it. And then we also find out that there's a $2.2 million full-scale model of the space shuttle that's just been built. And for what reason, I don't know, but it just seems a little bit suspicious to me.
Why would you spend all that money making a model of a space shuttle that's going to be retired? Real good question. Real good question. But I guess we have so much money in this country, it doesn't make any difference what we do with it. Ed, give us some of the updates, some of the things that you have found that would be interesting to us.
Well, we continue to try to match these people to these different profiles that we're finding that are linked to this one company. So we're continuing to do that, and we're noticing that on C-SPAN that they pulled some of the videos that they had up there before of the doctors giving their reports, and also of Daniel Hernandez. That was the aide that was credited as a hero, saving her life. So we're seeing that the position taken where the Facebook accounts are now being taken down, and people are making changes to try to avoid talking to us. But we're still seeing that the media is totally avoiding us 100% and not even addressing this. So it's a very we want to express to people that we really desperately need their help to come forward, and if they have any information that they can remain anonymous. But we'd like the people to help out, because this case just doesn't affect this one situation. It affects us all across this country.
Does anybody realize how important this whole investigation is? I mean, 9/11 happened a long time ago. People are kind of like, maybe some of them weren't even alive back when the 9/11 happened. But this one, it's fresh. People remember it. And you know what? We can make a huge difference by bringing this out in the open, just like they're doing now with Obama and whatever happened in his background. It's imperative that we do this. This is what we're all about. We're all about the truth. And I do believe that our Heavenly Father honors the truth. So please go to thegovernmentrag.com. There's plenty of information there. That is Stephanie's website. She keeps up an incredible amount of news on that website. And then also go to wellaware1.com, wellaware1.com. Stephanie, anything you'd like to add before we go to Dave in Arkansas?
No, I just, we're just going to keep following this case closely and, keep up to date on all the tips that are coming in.
Okay, and I want to thank Rachel Woodhouse at Genesis. She's the new PR girl that they have. She is really outstanding, and she does an excellent job. Whoa, what was that?
What was that?
Got feedback, John. Feedback on Stephanie's line. I'm hearing myself coming and going there. Anyway. Okay, there. Anyway, yes, Rachel Woodhouse does the news up on the GCN website. If you haven't been there, different hosts put up their news on that website, and I would encourage you to check it out. And last Friday, she focused on the Jared Loftner event, so I thank Rachel for doing that. Let's go to Dave in Arkansas. Dave, you're on the air. Go ahead, please, with Stephanie and Ed.
Oh, yes, Joyce. I just wanted to give a tip to the guest. According to Officer Jack McLean, the U.S. Marshals were pulled off the judge who was shot just 5 minutes before it happened. And that's from Officer Jack McLean.
Okay, I appreciate that very much. We'll check that out. You're saying that the marshals were called away from the event? Tell me what you mean.
They mean, they were supposed to be guarding the judge. But if they were really U.S. Marshals, maybe they wouldn't have been pulled off, but maybe they were just actors playing as U.S. Marshals. Okay.
All right. Thank you for that information. We'll be in touch with Jack McLam. Let's go to Roman in Ohio. Roman in Ohio, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Your comment or question. Go ahead, Roman.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm going to bring up a few issues that we talked about the other day.
Okay.
This judge, I would like for these people that are investigators, find out what he was working on his desk. Because my feelings are, when I heard that whole story, I think he was the one they were gunning for.
Okay, but what difference would that make? I mean, let's say he was going to make it illegal to have the New World Order. I mean, what does that prove, though?
Well, it proves that he would be one of the judges that are standing in the way of the New World Order, because if you follow the pattern of just about all the other judges that are making decisions, they're all just a bunch of cronies, or they're in bed with the illegal politicians in the first place. If this guy was an outstanding, honest judge, and he was, I don't know if it was you or maybe I heard this on Butch Paw's show, but if he was one of the judges that was against the American Union, yeah, they sure would want to bump him off.
Well, I think there were a lot of reasons, because he was working on a lot of critical issues. And as you know, he was a really good friend to Richard Mack, who assisted him in getting his Second Amendment case to the Supreme Court. So thank you very much. I got to move on. Thank you very much, Roman, in Ohio. And
oh, man, I can't believe it's over. Where does the time go? Well, I see the fat lady's off the stage. She's looking right at me. It's time for me to go put her to bed. I hate goodbyes. So instead I'm going to say, until we meet again, I'm Dirk Bradshaw for the Cosmic News. Wake up.
What if our government was responsible for some of the greatest crimes against this nation? Would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of people.
9/11 was an inside job. Kennedy was killed by the CIA. Jimmy Carter saw a UFO. Answers to secrets you need to know. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The evidence is overwhelming. Step past your fear, take a look. Illuminati lies keep growing. What they're losing from your eyes. And wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. What would our founding fathers say if they were alive today? Must be turning in their wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Patriots arise. It's time to demand the truth.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. This is Josh. This is the UFO News. So we're going to start things off right here with Taiwan. This is a sighting that took place in Taiwan just recently, and I'm going to play this for you, and you'll be able to hear. You'll hear a little bit of something. Okay. What you see here is a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 6 lights. 6 lights are there off in the distance. And you can hear the... You can hear all the chatter going on, figuring out what it is as it's being videotaped. I was in Taiwan recently. Here we've got the UFO sighting over Madrid, Spain on June 4, 2011. It says, "Witness report. I'm from Spain and I will try to explain in English my experience. I was in Madrid with some friends. We saw 2 lights. At the beginning we thought that they were aircraft, but then we realized that we were wrong. The lights were brilliant and the objects were in the same position all the time. We saw about 10 objects. We observed them with prismatic and wow. They were spherical, brilliant light. They appear and disappear like magic. I could observe with the prismatic that the objects appear. Then there was a gate in the air very close to them. I could record one of the objects with my mobile. It is real. The most amazing thing is that at the end of the recording the object disappeared. Could anyone to explain this to me?" So let's play this and see what we've got here. Alright, June 4, 2011. Submitted to lufos.net. Alright, here we go. And looks like we've got a couple of lights up in the sky. Let's see if we can move this along a little bit. Alright, there's a couple lights up there. See them blinking off to the left. One big bright light, one into the middle of the screen. I don't know if you can see these. There we got multiple lights. And then at the very end, we'll skip to the end here where he said they just disappeared. Dun 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 dun. And boom, gone. Hey, the video ended. Maybe that's why they disappeared. I don't know. Alright, moving on. We have, this is June 5th, 2011, from over at the David Icke Forum. Now here's a video. Check this out. This is the sun. And around the sun, you're going to notice that there's several objects that are up there. So, as we're looking at this sun here, okay, you've got, there we go, there's one object right there. You see these little things here? Let me stop one when it gets in close. Alright, see this right here? Right there where the pointer is, you got one, couple, looks like maybe 2 objects together there. Got another one down here. There's a couple more up there. There's a number of them when we look at this. So, I'm going to have, actually this link is already there at YouTube. Or excuse me, go to, there's quite a few of them out there. There's quite a few. Let me zip ahead, see what we got. Oh, look at all these that are out here too. There's a whole, wow, look at all that. Okay, wait a minute, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they're just all sitting out there, whatever these are. These are objects all around the sun of some sort. Very interesting indeed, very interesting. The link's up there, UFO News, you can check it out. Here is a bit of information I want you to listen to. This is Edgar Mitchell. Edgar Mitchell was one of the astronauts who went up there that allegedly walked on the moon. I say allegedly because, well, you've heard the song "We Never Went to the Moon." That's kind of how I feel about the whole thing. There's enough questions out there to question whether or not this was real. However, this footage was not taken on the surface of the moon. This footage that you see here was taken from the craft while they were out there in space. So here we go. This is Edgar Mitchell's own words.
Oh yes, there's not much question at all. But there's life throughout the universe. We're not alone in the universe at all.
You convinced that we're not alone in the universe?
Oh, I know for sure we're not alone in the universe. Now, have we been able to identify for sure where the other planets are? No, we have not. Certainly not in our solar system. But they've identified quite a number of planets now that very likely could be life-bearing planets. And I happen to be privileged enough to have been on the fact that we have been visited on this planet. And the UFO phenomenon is real, although it's been covered up by our governments for quite a long time.
Whoa! Hang on a minute. Well, this is big. Whoa! All of this is quite a shock to me.
Well, I'm sorry you haven't been reading the papers recently. It's starting to open up quite a bit.
So you're telling me? Well, there's a lot of information to take on board. Hang on a minute. I mean, listen. I've heard crazy UFO nuts tell me this kind of thing before. I've never had Dr. Ed Mitchell, the sixth man to walk on the moon, a respected scientist in his own right, announce to me that we've been visited by aliens from other planets, and that they definitely are out there. There's no debating it.
Alright, so there's more to this video. Obviously, you'll be able to watch it. It's like 10 minutes long. Follow the link up there. And in the video, you did see one object flying across, and then it looked like there was something shot at it. Shot at it from the U.S. side. Again, Americans, people of the earth, please stop shooting at the aliens. They might not be bad. They might not be bad. They might be good, actually. Some might be bad, okay? Don't let me get you fooled to think that everyone is out there is good, because that's not the truth. But we don't necessarily have to shoot at all of them. And the very last one here I'm going to show you is, this was a couple of sightings that took place in San Bernardino, California. We got two lights in the sky. And they just kind of look like maybe they're attached to the same sort of craft or same sort of object, because they do seem to be equidistant apart. And they don't seem to be, well, now one disappeared. Alright, so there you have it. San Bernardino, California. All of these links are available if you go to the website firstcontactradio.com. Click on the link on the right hand side that says UFO News, and that'll take you there. Alright, that's our UFO news for today. I'm going to jump to a song. When I get back, Jason Q. Rand will be here. The name of this song, keeping in line with the UFO theme, is Roswell.
Headline edition, July 8th, 1947.
One day, I was looking to the sky. I saw it. Up above the clouds, it was a silver shiny disc floating high above the ground. Then I saw them waving to me. It was E.T. and his family. Something happened, a missile from the ground. The sky had shot the UFO down. Roswell, he didn't make it home. Roswell, he didn't make it home.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
One day, I was looking to the sky. I saw a UFO shot down. It was a silver shining disc, broken in pieces on the ground. Then I saw them lying there, bodies scattered everywhere. Some big havoc, a military show, picked up the pieces and the case was closed. Roswell, he didn't make it home. Roswell, he didn't make it home.
Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio.
One day, as I was looking through the...
All right, and I'm back. We'll just do a little sample of that. All right, we're getting into the next phase where we have a guest. Jason Q. Rand is going to be here. Just prior to him coming on, I see him. He's waiting there in the queue. I've got a couple of things just to lead you in. We're going to be talking about Elenin or Planet X or Nibiru. Depends on what your take might be on it. There's been a lot of information we've reported over time about Elenin, about it coming into our solar system, about the possibility that some of these natural disasters that have occurred in the past, like the earthquake that took place in Chile or the earthquake that took place down in New Zealand, might have been an effect of this. There's also thought that maybe Elenin doesn't exist and is simply a cover so that the United States and the military industrial complex can do the HARP project and are using it as some sort of cover for that. There's also a thought that behind Elenin is some sort of a alien craft. We talked about that one as well. And then, of course, the most recent one was the fact that there's been a lot of stories that have been coming up talking about these rogue planets that just sort of travel on their own and they don't necessarily need to be in any particular solar system or orbit, that may just float freely. And what if this is actually a planet that is out there? Now, most recently, or maybe not recently, but not too long ago, Leonid Elenin, the one who discovered this comet Elenin, he is suggesting perhaps that is actually a brown dwarf star instead of a comet. And last but not least, I'm going to play this before Jason comes in. This is a posting from the Russian government talking about Comet Elenin, saying it might be under intelligent control. Listen to this, and as soon as we're done, Jason will be here. This is real quick.
Update June 2011. The following information was taken from Cosmos Online. A chilling report prepared for President Medvedev by Minister Sergei Yurkov of the Russian Defense Ministry regarding the building of an additional 5,000 underground bomb shelters in Moscow. The defense minister warns, even though progress is being made, the appearance of the new comet Elenin in our solar system means additional resources will have to be added immediately, as the 2012 timeline for completion may not be soon enough. Sparking fears, Minister Sergei Yurkov says in this report, quote, based upon the new orbit calculations for Comet Elenin, it appears in all likelihood that this celestial object is under some type of intelligent control and will approach Earth much closer than originally thought this coming fall season. An interesting note about the Comet Elenin is that the American Space Agency NASA has stated, quote, because of the possibility that the comet's orbit does slightly deviate, there is no guarantee that the Earth will be missed. Comet Elenin was discovered by scientist Leonid Elenin on December 10, 2010. Comet Elenin was traveling very near the ecliptic plane at more than 4 astronomical units, or 375 million miles from the Sun, and was headed inbound towards Earth. Its original point in orbit, where it's nearest to the Sun, was calculated to occur well inside Earth's orbit at about 0.45 astronomical units, or 42 million miles from the Sun. This was to occur on or about the 5th of September 2011, making it visible to the naked eye in the pre-dawn skies in the constellation of Leo. Most ominous in the minister's report is his assertion that the comet Elenin appears to be in direct contact with the mysterious Jupiter-sized planet discovered beyond the orbit of Pluto, which also is headed inbound towards our Sun. and of Cosmos Online information. These reports may spark increased hopes and beliefs in the possibility that the intelligence controlling these monumental events are none other than Almighty God and the foretold kingdom of Christ predicted in the Bible. Millions believe the true names for these upcoming events are the Great Tribulation and Armageddon. Armageddon is the war Almighty God wages against the fallen angels and those deceived by them. Regardless of what one believes, buckle up and be wise and not deceived. We are certainly in for epic earth and government-shattering events of biblical proportion.
All right, so very interesting indeed, and also there's a site out there. I'm going to put the link to this. Comet Elenin changes solar system orbit clockwise, and it talks about the possibility of and the possibility that this has made a change in the orbit of some degree, and then he cites some information from the NASA website that was found about that. So we got a lot of things going on, folks. A lot of things going on in the sky, from spaceships that are seen out there in the sun, fleets of them, to asteroids or comets coming into the solar system, and much, much more. So to discuss a little further, we had Jason Q. Rand, who's been here on a regular basis for a while, and he is back again. Jason, how you doing? You there? Good morning. How you doing? Welcome to First Contact. Welcome back.
Thank you. In my headpiece, you're breaking up a little bit. Are you getting any problems on your end?
No, we're okay over here, so just go ahead.
Okay. First of all, why don't you log us in?
It's Monday, the 6th of June, 2011. First Contact Radio, Jason Q. Rand.
Alrighty. We're on board. Your introduction extremely well stated what seems to be the current genesis of thought on what's causing all of these planetary problems. And it also covered a lot of the ancillary theories, because as you know, there are as many theories about what's going on as you can imagine. And of course, we still believe that if you want to call it Elenin, that's fine, but the evidence seems to prove, or seems to be leading to the fact, that this is in fact a celestial event which may well involve a brown dwarf star, which we've always maintained has been a part of our solar system since it was put together. And I sent you a document, I think it was yesterday or day before, dated Sunday, June 5th, 2011. It's got a religious bent to it, which is not necessarily bad, because I see this as a very complicated spiritual, if you want to call it religious event. It certainly has implications to the Almighty's power. It comes from a site called daystar@welovedgod.org, but it doesn't affix the minister or the writer's name, but I still found it very, very interesting. It came off of Yahoo Mail Classics.
Okay.
It dated Sunday, June 5th. I'm not, obviously I can't read the whole thing. It's 15 pages, but I want to plug into page 11 of 15, and I may read a page or page and a half. It really gets down to the core of what your intro was discussing.
Okay.
It kind of gives more clarity into the details, because that was pretty thick.
Okay.
And then you had that gentleman coming on giving his interpretation. So I'm going to start quoting. I'm not going to interrupt with any context.
Okay.
Page 11. There's a picture of a huge 2,000-foot wall of tidal wave water coming across San Francisco. That's the picture that's on the page.
Okay.
And that is obviously very scary. Okay. Quoting. This is going to be the most extraordinary communication, so fasten your seatbelts. We are in for a rough ride. I have known in my heart for months that I would have to make a communication like this, but had no idea it would be this soon. Back in January, I'm assuming it's 2010, while investigating the underground city that is alleged to have been built under the new Denver airport, reported on by the former governor Jesse Ventura, I put the puzzle together and came to the conclusion that a planetary event was in store for us in 2012. Today I'm presenting rock-solid information. It does not get any better when NASA is your source.
Okay.
What you are about to read and see is happening. Last night, looking at a NASA mathematical model of comet Elenin, I found out that a large celestial body has already penetrated the solar system and is on course for a near and possibly horrific encounter with the Earth in the fall of 2011. What we do not know is the size and mass of comet Elenin, although I have no doubt that it is known by the authorities. Elenin is presently being tracked as it goes through the asteroid belt on its way into the inner solar system. I am truly sorry to have to be the bearer of such grave and threatening news, but the source, NASA, is impeccable. We have an incoming mass, what might possibly be a neutron star, coming in, and it will do a hard turn around the sun like any comet would, crossing and coming in between Mercury and Venus before starting its journey back out. On its way out, it will cross our bow, meaning it will pass very close to the Earth, and the Earth will pass behind it, plowing into its tail. Then there's a video. In the video below, you will see this explained graphically. What you will see with mathematical precision is that every time this celestial body comes into alignment with the Earth and Sun, we appear to have a huge earthquake. The last three alignments produced the Japanese 9.0 quake, the one in New Zealand, and before that, the one in Chile. On March 11th, Elenin was much further out. When the next alignment happens, it will be devastatingly close. The main point to understand is that if Elenin was just a normal comet, it would not have the mass to generate a gravity pull that would affect the Earth when the Earth swings in alignment. David Morrison, astrobiology senior scientist at NASA, is an official in an official communication on March 1st, acknowledged no threat from Elenin. 10 days later, Elenin came into alignment with the Earth, and the Sun and Japan was almost destroyed. Morrison confirmed that Elenin's perihelion, closest to the Sun, is in early September 2011, at a distance from the Sun of 40 to 45 million miles. He said it will be closest to the Earth on or about October 16th, 11, at a distance of about 21 million miles. But he believes there is no reason to think Elenin is any different from a normal comet. I wonder, this is what this astrobiologist was saying. This is the real deal, though. That alignment did happen, as we can clearly see from the NASA simulation. Now we have to live with increasing radiation spreading around the northern hemisphere. We know how easy it is for people in authority to cover up information and lie with a straight face. The Japanese government admitted it kept in secret at least 5,000 radiation measurements and assessments after the nuclear event that struck the Fukushima Daiichi NPP in March. Okay, I'm gonna pull out of the copy. If this guy is correct in what he's stating, and he's, I saw that NASA graphic, assuming that it was true, then in fact we have evidence that this particular object, whether it be a comet or our mysterious brown dwarf star, if in fact this is true, we can expect a really, really rough summer, fall of this year coming into winter of 2012. Now, we're at a strange point right now because we've just entered the new hurricane season for the tropics, which of course affects the Caribbean and all of the Gulf states and the whole East Coast. It could even affect Mexico all the way across to California if we have a hurricane that travels due west. We need to think once again about getting prepared. I can't say it enough. Look what's happening right now. Another devastating tornado in Massachusetts in Massachusetts this morning. It's nuts. They don't get tornadoes there, especially in June, if they did have one. There are things that are not right. The planet is definitely off course. Its weather patterns are becoming drastically and more calculatingly dangerous, like never before. Okay, we can read books, we can hear people talk on the radio, but if you don't take this seriously, I don't know what it will take to get everyone to understand that we don't know what's happening. We're not sure what's coming our way. Something is. There was a movie a number of years ago called Something Bad This Way Comes, and it was all about terrible things that were to come in the future. I just saw Knowing again the other day, just for the heck of it. I put it on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we could be soon to experience something of this nature. And it could take out some grid systems. Now, we can talk about it, like I said. We can think about it, but we need to get prepared. And once again, I just want to thank you for this opportunity to talk to everybody again, Josh.
You're welcome.
People have got to understand the clock is not stopping. It ticks second by second, hour by hour. We go up on our website, returnofplanetx.com, and you'll see the cosmic clock ticking till midnight of December 21st, 2012. I'm not saying the world is going to end. We could be in for some very serious, ongoing natural disasters. And we said it over and over again. Now is the time to get prepared. Water, food, pet food, bandages, medicine. Where do you live? How secure is your house? Forget about worrying just about tornadoes. Now we got earthquakes and tornadoes and windstorms and hurricanes, and the good Lord knows what else is coming our way. If there's any religious connection to any of this, and you do take the Scripture seriously, and you've thought about trying to read the book of Revelation, just tackle chapter 8 in the great book. It'll tell you exactly what's coming our way, and it describes perfectly the effects incoming and outgoing of a brown dwarf star. It calls it in chapter 8, verse 11. It says, the name of the star is Wormwood. Go ahead, laugh. Not serious. You know, oh, these are just words written in a book. Well, they may be words in a book, but they're attributed to the Lord Jesus himself. Not going religious on you guys, but that's what it says the good book was interpreted by John, St. John the Divine, dictated to him by one or more of Jesus' angels carrying his word from the above. As a practicing Christian, I have to at least take it seriously and question whether I believe what I read. In this case, I do. I base the book on it. So with that, I'm going to kind of give it up. I think I've been on over 15 already. But everybody get the message. And don't take my word for it. Don't take Josh's word for it. Just go up on the Internet. You'll find thousands and thousands of pieces of very well-written literature and documents. You take from it what you will. They can't all be wrong. Are they all smoking swamp gas like the UFO thing back in Michigan in the early 60s? I don't think so. There's too much evidence for you to totally ignore, okay? Josh, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I pretty much got the message out that I wanted to speak about this morning.
Well, very good. All right, Jason. Well, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate that. And we'll just keep our fingers crossed, see what's going to happen.
Remember, the future is where you're going to spend the rest of your life.
That's right.
I think it's time we begin to seriously contemplate our futures, okay?
Very good. All right. Well, if people want to find out more, very good. Thanks, Jason. All right. If you want to find out more, you've got the Return of Planet-X.com. Return of Planet-X.com, where you can find out more information on what Jason was talking about. So, Where does that bring us? Well, that brings us to a point where we've got a lot of stuff going on, folks. Got a lot of stuff going on in the world. Let's bring up my graphic here. All right, this graphic talks about the different things that are going on here in the world. All right. First of all, we still have on there the Howard Camping prediction. Now, he revised things to the end date. He talked about May 21st through October 21st, and he thought the rapture was going to happen on the 21st. It didn't. He says it's going to happen on the 21st of October as opposed to May, which would be the end of the cycle that he says we're going to be going through. And the thing that did happen on May 21st was an earthquake where he said the first one would start in New Zealand. So he got that right. He said it would start with an earthquake in New Zealand, and there was an earthquake in New Zealand on that day. So the thing he said would start it was the thing that happened. Perhaps that was the start of something, because things are escalating. Now, don't forget, we had that NLE exercise in the Midwest. Things haven't changed too much from there, other than some people have gotten prepared. But the waters are flowing, and it's flowing from the Mississippi, and it's flowing on the Missouri, and pretty soon the Missouri and the Mississippi are going to connect. If you go online, and I'm going to put the link up there, I've been collecting videos of sinkholes that are taking place all the way up from Canada, all the way down through this country, the middle of the country especially. You see all these different sinkholes that are suddenly opening up. People are concerned. Water is flowing backwards. Tecumseh, the Indian chief, said he saw the water flowing backwards of the Mississippi River at the time of the big earthquake. Well, I don't recall it saying that the water flowed backwards after or before, but people are seeing and have seen the water flowing backwards these days. So perhaps before might be a precursor to something big that's about to go on. Now, we've been talking about Comet Elenin, but what exactly is Comet Elenin? Is it a threat? Is Comet Elenin a brown dwarf star? If it is, that poses a different type of pool on this planet than if it was just a comet that was going to be passing through. Maybe it is on a collision course with the Earth, and they don't want to say anything to the general public because they'll think there'll just be panic and people will be running out, doing whatever they want to do, feeling life's about to end. Maybe there's something more intelligent behind it. Maybe it is a planet that we're going to wake up one day and we're going to see a new planet out there close enough for us to see. Maybe this is Nibiru, and the beings on the planet, the Anunnaki, are going to come down to the planet and talk about events that they were dealing with in the past and kind of reclaim some of what needs to be reclaimed down here by them. It is shown that there was pictures of what appears to be UFOs behind it, and as you heard in the video, there is thought that it is intelligently controlled. We've seen the UFOs today. I showed you the images all around the sun. Is there some sort of UFO incident that's about to occur? Well, there certainly seem to be quite a few number of them that are out there, and the false flags, well, we always have false flags to deal with. I'm going to be doing more information on this false flag that took place down in Arizona. There's enough information surrounding it that is false to signify that the event itself might be a false flag. For me personally, when I heard about the incident, I thought it was very sad, but I also thought it was extremely coincidental that there happened to be one of these 911 babies that was at the event that got killed. And I also remember hearing that all the reports about how this miraculous recovery was being made by a woman who was shot pretty much at point blank range, and she was making this miracle recovery. And every time I heard that, I thought, it's very fascinating. Someone gets shot like that, and the doctors are all amazed at her recovery, that she can walk and talk, and now being released from the hospital when she was, and instantly I thought, I wonder what the connection is to her husband, who is one of the space shuttle astronauts. And just enough questions have come up. The question also was, who was the judge? What was this judge all about? Maybe he was the target, and then everything else was taken off of him by putting the attention on Gibbs. So I'm going to investigate this story more. We're going to do some more on it this week because there's a lot more information. We just barely touched the surface with that. All right, so that's what's going on. At this point in time, what I want to do is I want to jump to a meditation for today. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. Let me see if I can... All right. What I want you to do, I want you to go ahead and just close your eyes, my friends. Close your eyes. Just take this moment to relax. You came out of the weekend. You got a new week ahead of you. There's a lot of challenges that go on at the beginning of a week. I want you to simply take a deep breath. Exhale. Take another deep breath. Exhale. And one more deep breath. Exhale. And now just think clearly about this week. Think about what it is you would like to do this week. Think about what it is you'd like to do this week. Imagine yourself at the beginning of a path, and the path represents the beginning of the week, and see yourself at the end of the path, at the end of the week. See that point out there. Focus your attention on that point, and then energetically put your energy out in that direction. And see yourself having accomplished right now all that you want to accomplish this week. Imagine it, and then bring yourself back to the present space where you are now, and know that by sending your energy out ahead of you, all you need to do now is physically catch up with that. Because the energy does travel, and it does go and create what it is we want it to create. Now, I want you, from right where you are, take a moment and just think about the word love. Just think about love. Just think about that word, L-O-V-E. And send now love around the planet to everybody around the planet. You may not see their faces. You don't know who everyone is. But just imagine sending love. Imagine like a blanket going around and filling and covering the earth with this love energy. And allow this love energy to settle down into the earth. And then send some up to the cosmos. And hold a good thought in your heart now for everyone on this planet. And as you're doing so, let's bring our energy and attention back to the present moment on a count of 3. Coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. And that's it. We've come to the end of a show. We've come to an end of a meditation. I hope you've learned a lot on this experience. I hope you have questions in your mind that you will go and research. Don't take my word for it. Go online and search. Google is a tremendous source. The internet's a tremendous source. Find out what's out there. Learn for yourself. Think for yourself. That's what it's all about. That's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, you have a great day. For Dirk Bradshaw, I'm Josh Poet. Peace. I'm out of here.